It's Facebook Live time. Happy Facebook Live time. Hi crafting friends, I'm Melissa Kerman with Melissa's Crafting Treehouse, and I'm here with my weekly Facebook Live with all the latest updates and some fun projects, of course. So if you're joining live or for the replay, welcome, either on Facebook or YouTube. Thanks for being here. I always love to share, and it would be so boring if you weren't out there. So yay, join in. So here every Thursday. Now I got a couple of quick announcements, and then I'm going to go right into a couple of projects. Hi Chrissy, welcome. So quick announcements. Hi Pam, welcome. Let's see, announcements. Okay, so officially we're gonna we have to say goodbye to Purple Posy. So I don't know if this is news to some of you, but there have been problems with Purple Posy, and now it came and we got it, and now they're having problems again, and so it's being discontinued. So that's kind of sad, but you know, what can you do? So there were quality issues, and there continue to be quality issues. So it's kind of sad, but that's the way it is, right? So we're saying goodbye to Purple Posy officially. Excuse me. One product that just came back is these metallic ink pads and re-inkers, the Delicata, I guess it's called, silver, gold, copper, and the refills for all of them. Now it's just been announced that those are actually being discontinued too, so I feel like all I have is sad news today. Hi Nancy, hi Gail, welcome. Probably missed somebody in there, I'm sorry. Hi whoever just joined before that. Anyway, so these are going away. They're being discontinued. The refill for the copper is already gone. This was in my newsletter today, but the ink pad and the silver and the gold and the refills are still available for that. So just saying goodbye to some things. So one last little announcement, and then I'm going to get straight to the projects. And I am featuring the Christmastime is Here suite, and doing sneak peeks of the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle projects, which is the focus of today's Facebook Live, and of course that suite. So anyway, I wanted to share something that I meant to share last week. Hi Catherine, hi Sally, welcome. Hi Kimmy. And I know I'm a week late, but I say better late than never. I couldn't find it when I was doing it last time. So I got a lovely little card from Laura Lee, who is often on here. So hopefully she'll join in. I just wanted to do a little shout out. She sent me this wonderful card made with the Halloween paper, the Monster Bash paper. And anyway, it's just such a cute little card. And I wanted to share it last week in honor of Halloween, and I forgot because I couldn't find it. But here it is. Yay, Laura Lee. I love receiving cards in the mail. So thank you, Laura Lee. All right, so you guys ready to see the Christmastime is Here products and projects that I have? Yes, I'm sure you are. So I'm going to face the camera down, and we're going to get started. Okay, here we go. All right, so I got the stamp set, the Christmastime is Here stamp set. Actually, it's called Christmas Rose. Comes in two cases. Now this one, this big image, is actually red rubber, and this other one with all the other images that overlay on this one are photopolymer. So it's kind of cool. Now these ones, it doesn't matter so much if this is photopolymer and clear, but with these ones it works perfectly because you can stamp over those images and see through them because they're clear. So it's pretty cool that they combined those things. So we're going to be using those two, and some of the other products that are in the suite are this designer series paper, which is just so gorgeous, and there are you get more of each design in this pack than in usual. So this is the front and back of this one. So you're getting 4 each of this pattern, and 4 each of this one, and then 4 of this one. So we're going to be, let's see, am I showing you? I think I'm using at least more than half of this. I'm using a bunch of this today. So you'll get to see them being used on projects. So that's designer paper. And then there's this absolutely gorgeous ribbon, this 1/4 inch gold shimmer ribbon, which I just love. and these enamel dots. They're called gold glitter enamel dots. We're going to use those too. And let's see what else. I think there's only 2 things that I didn't buy that are part of this product suite. And one of them is the dies. Yeah, I didn't buy the dies. I feel ashamed that I didn't buy the dies, especially because I'm showing you a project today that I needed to fussy cut because I didn't have the dies. Oh well. And then the last thing in the product suite is a charm. It's called a Christmas rose charm, I think. Anyway, a bracelet, right? Okay, so that's most of everything. So I've got 3 projects to show you. And I'm going to start with the project that was designed by Raquel Bath in our design team group. And she, I'm going to actually put together the project here on camera. I haven't made one ahead of time. So we're using one of these copper tins. Stampin' Up! Has a whole bunch of gift packaging where you don't actually, you're starting with something that's mostly done. So it's easy. All it is decorating it. So it makes it really easy to come up with something super fast. So what we're going to do is we're using this strip of designer paper. This is one of the, of course, Christmas Time is Here pieces, patterns. And it's just, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's gold embossed elements in the rows. So it's really gorgeous. Very, very beautiful paper. So I'm going to be attaching this to my box. So I'm going to grab my big ATG gun. Now I've kind of looked at this ahead of time to see where I want my images to be. So they'll show up well. I'm going to have a little sentiment on the front as well. And I'm pretty much doing this exactly as Raquel designed it. Usually I end up changing things up because I can't help myself. But today it's just, I just like it just the way it is. And I had everything that was required. So now I just have to get my spacing on here because I have, let's see, how do I have this? I had it start back here. And I did play with this a bit. So this is going to just wrap around so that it's even with the lid. So you see the lid there? I guess I have some adhesive on here. Let's turn that around. It keeps flying all over the place. So it's just going to be even with the lid. Now this is some tear and tape. We're going to use that in a second. It's not part of the decoration, I promise. And then I'm just wrapping it around. Now this is copper, but I think it goes really well with the gold paper, even still, the paper with the gold elements in it. Just taking it all the way around. So we went from this kind of plain tin to this gorgeous rose-covered tin. Isn't that pretty? I think it's so pretty. Okay, next, I'm going to take a piece of my gold shimmer ribbon, and this is my back side, and I'm going to attach it. I've put my tear and tape on here. You guys use tear and tape? Anybody like tear and tape? It's very strong. It's a great adhesive, and it is exactly the same width as this ribbon. So hopefully it's going to be completely hidden in behind. It should be. And I'm just going to start by putting it on there so that it's centered, so the same amount of tail on both sides. Now, this is going to come together pretty darn quick. And then I'm going to put a little bit more on the front of the tear and tape. And I'm just going to have these overlap on the front because I'm going to cover that up. So you're not going to see where it overlaps. This is the biggest challenge with tear and tape, is getting your fingernail underneath that cover, the paper that's covering the adhesive. And I just cut my nails, so they're short, relatively speaking. Okay, here we go. Gotta look and see if there's comments. Oh, you use a lot of tear and tape. Yes, that 3D project you shared the other day, you probably used a lot of tear and tape for that. I'm sure you did. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm going to make a little air bow. So I thought about tying it around and actually making a bow, but it didn't come out so that the bow was kind of oriented the way I wanted it. So it's a little bit easier to control the bow by doing this, wrapping it around, and then I'm just going to do what I like to call an air bow. You guys have probably seen me do this a bunch of times. And just going to make my little bow look pretty. Adjusting the ears, and probably going to leave it just like that. So anybody out there used these little tins before? They're perfect for putting a set of 3x3 cards in them. In fact, I think she had that in her picture. It's 3x3 cards, but she didn't have instructions for the 3x3. Not that I couldn't have made them, but okay. So we're just going to stick that right up there. So trim it off, and then we've got a little bit of got a sentiment on the front. So that's the last thing I need to do on this. So it's going to cover where those two ribbons came together. There we go. Got to make the tails the same size. Okay, there's that. And now I have die cut one of my stitched edged framelits, a circle. Stamped the Merry Christmas. That is in the Christmas Rose stamp set. And then die cut a scallop circle with the layering circles dies. And I'm just going to attach those two together. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of ribbon. I've taken a little piece of the ribbon and I've attached it with a glue dot right there in the center. You have 3 rolls for your swaps for Dortmund. Yay! The page the adorable tins are on. Well, there's a gift packaging page towards the back of the catalog, and I'm wanting to say it's in the 170s. That would be my guess. Do you have your catalog there? Can you test me and see if I'm actually remembering that right? Okay. So I'm going to put that right back there. I'm probably going to trim off those little edges just a little bit, but what I need is some dimensionals, because I'm going to attach this with dimensionals, and I think I'll just attach my ribbon with a glue dot to get started. See if it's sticking out like I want it. Page 173. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of myself. 170s. It changes every year, so like I can't even remember what page the cardstocks and stuff are on, because it changes every year, and so I've just given up on memorizing it because it's just gonna disappear from my brain. Okay, so gotta go ahead and put some dimensionals on there. I don't usually use the scissors for adhesives, but it's the one that's sitting here. So this is my official ribbon cutting scissors. Do you guys have official ribbon cutting scissors? I see Becky Edwards. Becky, oh my goodness, I haven't heard from you in ages. How are you? It's so fun that you're here, unless you're a different Becky Edwards than the person that I know that used to live next to Katie Spencer. Oh, that's so funny. Hi, Catherine, welcome. I don't think I said hello to you before. Okay, so we're just putting some dimensionals back there. I like to tack down my ribbon a bit with the dimensionals. And then I'm just going to stick it right there on the front. And we are done with this one. So this was designed by Raquel Bath, who's one of the design team members. There we go. There's the little cute box with the gorgeous paper. I almost hate to cover up the front. Isn't that just sad to cover up the front? Anyway, there's my one finished project. Leave that there. Clean up my workspace and start with the next one. So the next one is one of the projects that I designed for the design team. We actually had, I actually did two for the design team this time because we had somebody who wasn't able to do their project. So I will show you that second project. It's super easy, but I'm not going to make it in front of you because it's, I'm going to try to share what other people have made. Okay, so the next project is mine, and we are going to use a mossy meadow card base, and we are using this image right here, the nice big beautiful rose image, and I have already heat embossed it on my watercolor paper. Now I had in mind that I would do it on the watercolor paper so I could actually watercolor it if I wanted to, but I loved it just the way it was, so I decided to just leave it the way it is. So this is a pretty simple card, but I think it's pretty gorgeous, if I might say so myself. Hopefully you will agree. So I took a piece of gold foil, and this is actually going to get covered up. So this is how these two are going to come together. But I did not want to waste the gold foil, so I used one of my rectangle stitched framelits to cut out the middle, and this will get used for some other fun project at some point, because you can't waste what's being covered up, right? And I'm going to go ahead and attach this to my foil. Yes. Oop. Oh no, it's not coming off the right way. There we go. So anybody out there not know how to do heat embossing, you just let me know. I'd be happy to fill you in. It's pretty easy, and it's one of the prettiest, most showy techniques you can do, because as you can probably tell, it's shiny and it's raised. It's so pretty. I love heat embossing. Yes, this is my favorite image in the entire set. I don't even think it needs to be stamped on, but it could be. I actually have another one to show you that I did for the Color Fusers blog hop this past Monday, and I did watercolor it in, and it's really very pretty. I'll show you that in just a bit. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of the gold ribbon, and I'm just going to tie a knot. I'm going to do 2 of these. And this is an element that I did years ago, and I really just love it on cards, and I always forget to use it, so we're doing it on this card. And actually the truth of this card was that I knew the deadline was coming for me to come up with my project design, but I kind of, lost track of the time, and before you know it, it was a Monday night, and the project was due on Tuesday. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and I saw the Facebook post, project's due today, and I went, I need to figure something out quick. And this came together so fast, and it was so pretty. I was very proud of myself, especially coming together so fast. So you can see I've got glue dots on the back side of the ribbon. I'm just doing it and talking and not telling you what I'm doing. And then I got a glue dot on the back side of the other side, and I'm just wrapping it around the back to make a little nice corner element. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other corner. So I just want to make sure that the knot is centered in that space, and that I'm exposing about the same amount of corner on this side as I am up there. And I'm just attaching it around the back. So there we go. Okay, we're almost done actually. Like I said, this super simple project. Okay, so this, did I show you the back side of that one? Isn't that gorgeous? It's almost a shame to cover it up, but I'm actually going to have this side facing up. Gold embossing powder. Yes, gold embossing powder. And of course, there's gold elements in all of these papers, so it's the kind of natural. Now, just if I had had this side up and I'd watercolored this, then this might actually look pretty. But because there's no red in it, I went with the simple side. So that's what we're going to do again, even though it's very sad to cover up this gorgeous paper. But I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. So that's just getting attached to the front of the card. And if any of you out there are team members, I think I saw some team members, I showed this card to, I just realized I don't need adhesive in the middle because I'm attaching it with glue dots. I showed this to some of the other team members that were here the other day, and they were all, well, several of them were like, we have to make that. We have to make that. I mean, they were all adamant. And so I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough designer paper for it, and then I figured it out. It's like, yeah, we can do it. So this is one of the team make and takes for the November get together. So that's coming up on the 19th. And then I have another really fun project. And if any of you out there listening and you want to take part in the challenge this month, you'll get the pieces to make this other card and this card, of course. But the other card is a sort of a fun fold. Fancy fun fold, actually. I'm not showing it to you today. I'm going to just keep you enticed. Oh, you like the ribbon elements? Yes, I like it too. Yes, and the mossy meadow against the gold is just, it's perfect, if I might say so myself. I just love it. And mossy meadow is actually one of my all-time favorite colors. It was an in color, you guys may remember, at one point. And it went away. I was sad. And then it came back 2 years later, which was really awesome. I think that there were other demonstrators out there that were going, this color is too good. You need to bring it back. And always artichoke, which was another sort of similar color, more grayish, less bright. That one went away, and the mossy meadow stayed, and I was as happy as a clam. So there's my finished card. What do you think? You guys like it? Simple, almost clean and simple, except for there's heat embossing on it, which means it takes a little bit of effort. So anyway, that's my card. Okay, so now the third thing I have in mind to make is not actually finished. So I am going to bring in some pieces, and we're going to sort of design together, if you will, and we're going to see what we come up with. So the original project was designed by Katina Martinez, who is part of the group, and I partly didn't finish because I ran out of time. So let's see. I think yesterday I usually send my newsletter, and I was working like all day long on my my Technique Club video. It took me hours, and I just completely lost track of time. Forgot to send my newsletter out because I sent it today instead, just because I was too occupied. And then I had the class last night. So anyway, that's just to say this is not 100% done. It may never get 100% done, but I'm going to ask you your opinion and see what you think, and we'll go with it and see how far we can get. So I'm going to be using this paper here. Now, this very large image in the center can be die cut with the die that goes with this set. And I don't think it does that one. I think it just does that one. Now, because I didn't buy the die, as I said, I fussy cut a couple of these. I fussy cut this one. It was along the edge, and I fussy cut one of those, and then I just sort of started playing some more. So I'm going to use a cherry cobbler card base and this piece here of Mossy Meadow. Again, love that color. This is attached, which I'm going to take it off. And I'm going to start. So I have a vision for where this card is going to go, but I know that I'm not going to finish it because there's something that's going to be missing in the end. I can just feel it in my bones. So we're going to start with this little itty bitty image with in the Christmas Gleaming set. I love to add a little bit of texture to my background, so that's what I'm starting with, using my embossing buddy. And if any of you out there don't know how to emboss, guess what? I'm doing it on camera, so I don't even have to explain it. So I'm just gonna, let's see, do a bunch of these little specks, and I should actually place out what I had in mind. So I've fussy cut, see? Fussy cut. I'm really not much of a fussy cutter, but these just are so pretty, right? I mean, it would be so much easier if I had done it with the die, but you know, you make do, right? Okay, so let's see how I'm going to put that on there. So I've got several little elements that I have planned to put on here. And I cut these little corners off of some of the extra pieces. So that's kind of my general plan. I'm laying it out there so that I can see where the open space is going to be, because I want to have specks in the open spaces. And then I have something else in mind, so don't go away, because this is not it. There's more to this. There's one step I'm going to do, and I'm actually a little bit nervous about doing it, but we're just going to see how it goes. And whatever this is going to be stunning. I'm telling you, I already know it. It's going to be. At least I'm hoping so. Crossing my fingers. Oh, I just realized I forgot something on my little box. I forgot my little... I was going to put a few of these on there, which I guess you'll just have to visualize. Or come to see my blog tomorrow, because tomorrow I'll have the post up for that. Okay, so... we're starting with this. So first I have to heat emboss those images. So we're going to grab my gold embossing powder, tuck that in there. And it's really just the specks in the exposed spots. And we're going to heat it. So make a noise. Get ready. At least it's not too much. Everybody still there? Hi, everybody. So the gold, of course, again, the gold and the mossy green is just so pretty. So did anybody out there see my project from Monday, the Color Fusers blog hop? It was, the color scheme was copper and pretty peacock and cherry cobbler. Did anybody hear my question? Oh, you're still here. Good. I'm so glad to know that, Kimmy. Don't burn my fingers. I know. Got to be careful. Okay, so now we're going to attach my elements. Got to get my spacing. So I'm not going to press it down until I got my spacing. My ATG gun is being temperamental tonight. Okay. Okay, now this one's generally speaking going right around in here. You guys. This one. So the color scheme in this is actually cherry cobbler and poppy parade, which is not, it's a red, of course, not a red that I gravitated to at first. It's sort of a lighter red than real red, but it's actually really pretty. So these berries are done in the poppy parade. It was a little too light to make the card body, so I chose cherry cobbler instead. Okay, let's get these on here. So now this, of course, was the edge of the paper, the designer paper. And I think these are gonna, right where I want it. I just can't even stand the thought of cutting those berries off, but oh well. That's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so I'm going to bring my cutter in because I need to be precise. just how I am. And I'm going to trim off the excess. So I'm going to put my Mossy Meadow against the edge, so I know I'm getting a straight edge. Trim off those excess pieces. I'm envisioning using this somewhere. Isn't that pretty? Simple little edge. Okay, and now my berries. My berries are screaming. Ah! I know, I'm so silly. Okay, and then this one. I was thinking with the purple posy, I should say, poor purple posy. Just can't keep that poor purple posy. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So, how's that looking so far? What do you guys think? The colors look great. Yay. Perfect. Okay, so next. This is my next thing. This is the thing that I was nervous about doing, but I'm going to do it just because I have to see if it actually looks good the way I think it's going to look good. So, we're going to bring in the big shot, and I'm going to put this in my favorite embossing folder, the subtle embossing folder. You guys know that by now, right? I seem to use it on like at least half of my projects. And I'm going to put in so that the lines are this way. I mean, it looks really pretty like this, doesn't it? Should I do it? Should I really dry emboss it? Anybody? I think I have to now, because I have to see what it looks like. Okay, so there's the before. Maybe I should take a picture. I can't. Okay, here's the before. Now let's see how it looks when it becomes fused with my Mossy Meadow. Do it. Thank you. That's what I need to hear. Egg me on. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Kimmy. Okay, let's see what it looks like. And you guys are doing a drum roll, right? Drum roll, please. I love asking for a drum roll. Okay. Here we go. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh. Ah. Oh, it's pretty. It looks like it's all part of it, doesn't it? Subtle. Yes. Okay. So fun, huh? Okay, so now there's the trick. Is I'm just thinking there's another step. There's another thing I was thinking. Okay. So Katina did this on her design. She didn't do the dry embossing. She didn't do the specks in the background. But she did do this other thing, which I think was a really good idea. So we're going to do it. So I'm going to do the Versamark, a little bit of Versamark on the edges. I'm going to kind of antique it out. Oop, I see a little edge that's not even. I must fix that. And I like to do the corners just a little bit more. Let me get my scissors. See the edge right down there? Can't have that. Because what's going to happen is then when I'm going to have to cut it off after it's heat embossed. And that won't be good. Okay, so let's see. I'm biting my nails. I'm anxious. Should I have done this? What's the harm, right? It's just paper. Paper and play. So the thing I didn't figure out or think out with this is what I should do like for a sentiment, and I didn't get that far when I was playing and doing my creative visualization. So you see it's coming in a little bit more than I might want, so I'm kind of just wiping a little bit of it off. I don't want it to be too much gold. Okay, so here we go. More noise. Guys ready? I see I'm not the only one whose favorite embossing folder is subtle. You're with me, Catherine. I'm sure there's others of you out there. It's so useful, that embossing folder. Can you guys see it changing? Maybe I need to bring the light in. I'm going to bring the light in, because it's fun to watch the magic. Hi, Trisha, or Trish. Welcome. Just happened to look up at the camera while I wait for my heat embossing. Okay, so now I want you guys to be thinking while I'm heat embossing, because I'm almost done, what should I do next? Because this is what I haven't decided. Should I add some ribbon? If so, where? Should I add a sentiment? Where should it be? I don't think I'm going to want to cover any of this up. Ooh. Okay, be thinking. I want you guys to comment and let me know what you think. No sentiment on the front. Well, I agree. You can't cover the flowers. I know. There you go. Okay. What do we think? Ribbon, though. Maybe some ribbon? Ooh, maybe some of these. I wonder what ribbon would look like. Just tied along the side or the bottom. I'm looking for votes. Ribbon and gold dots. I have a vote. Maybe it needs to be on the side. Maybe even on the inside of the card. Let's try that. Okay, I'm looking up every once in a while. Oh, you say bottom. Darn. Let's just see how this looks, and then we'll decide if it should be bottom or side. Going back and forth. Bottom, side. Maybe it should be the bottom. Okay. You know, guys, I'm probably going to stop somewhere in here and I'm going to go, okay, I have to go off camera, because what I do with my projects a lot of times, I don't know if you guys do it, I sort of ruminate. Oh, I see someone saying the side. And this is part of why. It's like different opinions, and I have to look at it and have to go back and forth, and I can't think very well when I'm on here. Only just enough to, like, do something that I've got planned. Okay. So we'll just sort of start with that for a second, see what we think. And you know what I should have done is sponged the edges of that. Kind of softened it a little bit. Can't do that now so much though. Okay, I'm going to get my paper piercing tool. Or my take your pick tool. See about putting a few of these lovely glitter enamel dots around. So I'm probably going to keep fiddling with this because that's the way I am. These are a little hard to fiddle with too. And I'll do it off camera, and then I'll take pictures, and it will be on my website tomorrow. So let's see. These are looking pretty good. What do you guys think? Tie a knot, don't wrap. How can I tie a knot and not wrap? Help me. Help me understand. What do you mean? I'll check back. I'll look up in just a second. Oop. I think I need to stick with the smaller ones. Alrighty. I think I'm going to put this one on if I can get it to pick up. That's the tricky part. And then I'm going to set this aside, fiddle and play. You guys can keep commenting and let me know what you think. Side or bottom. I'm still not even sure about the ribbon at all. Maybe it should be a bow somewhere. Tie a knot, don't wrap. Okay, well, I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to show you the other few things that I have to show you, and then I will finish this off camera because that's what I have to do. So there's that. Now this one is going to get a couple of those little gems, the enamel dots sitting on there as well. And what I wanted to show you was, this was my second project that I did for the tutorial bundle. Super simple. It's actually a money holder for Christmas. So it's just, I think it's I think it was 7.5. And then of course it's scored at 3 and 6. So you can imagine, super easy and fun. And then this was my color fusers project. So this one is heat embossed with copper. Let's see. Take a fine tip brush and dip into the Versamark ink to outline and emboss. Ooh, no, that's an idea. Yes, I feel like the edges are a little too hard on this. You know, right in there. Needs to soften it. I'll play with them. Oh, you love the gold dots. Yay. It's so fun to see what people's comments are. Anyway, so this one, copper, and then I watercolored the rose and the foliage, colored the little berries, and then I put some Wink of Stella on my rose. So yeah, and then I don't know if you can see in the background, I used the brick and mortar embossing folder. I don't know if you can see that well. I sponged over it, so I did direct paper on that so that you'd be able to see the texture on the brick a little bit better. Sponged along the edge of the backing to the focal piece and also on the edge of the focal piece itself. And then the card base is not copper. It's just a card face. I cut out the middle with my rectangle stitch dies, of course, to use that portion of the copper foil that was covered up, and then put it onto a pretty peacock card base. So that was my Monday project on my blog already. So I will finish this. I'm going to stew on it. So keep commenting and let me know what ideas you have for what I should do on this, and I will finish it and come back. And I'm just going to turn the camera to say goodbye and do anything reminders. And also, I need to let you guys know that next week, oops, got it already, turn me around. Okay, next week, I am going to be on my way to on stage on Thursday, next Thursday evening. So I will not be doing Facebook Live next week. I'm taking a break, and the following week, which will be, oh, what is it? Well, next week is the 14th, 15th. It's the 15th. So the week after that, whatever it is, I will be back, and I will have things to share from on stage. And at on stage, of course, we're going to we're going to see the celebration brochure, the occasions catalog. So it's going to be super fun. What else? I'm going to an event the day before, attending and also presenting. So I've got some fun projects to share at that presentation, and we'll be sharing them on my blog as well. So you'll get to see those also. And let's see what else. I guess that's probably the most important stuff. So I won't see you next week. I will miss you, but I will see you the following week. And thank you so much for joining me. And I'll be looking at your comments to see what you think I should do on that card. Gotta finish it and post it to the page. So appreciate your input. So you guys have a great 2 weeks, and I will be back soon. Okay, bye. Thank you. Thank you for the well wishes on stage. I will definitely have fun. All right. Bye, everybody.